mission of YWCA New Hampshire is eliminating racism and empowering women through peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all.
Our goal is to be able to be a community center for folks who need something really, no matter what that is. And if we can't provide it, to be able to refer them on to other partners who can.
The YWCA is important to the community in so many ways that I think are both big and small.
To me, the agenda that the Y has for ending racism in New Hampshire is kind of a key.
So a lot of the people that I serve come in a crisis situation where they might find themselves not having help somewhere else because of their documentation or citizenship status, or they may have not had access to services that most have, like medical or legal.
We are providing support to individuals in the community in ways that aren't often talked about, through crisis counseling, through empowerment, through education.
Most of the people that walk in our door, especially for our Reach Crisis program, are just in a moment of crisis and they really need support and they need assistance, and they're able to come in, meet with an advocate, sit down with somebody, hear their options, not be told what to do, but hear their options and be given those tools and that decision-making authority they maybe don't have.
Coming here is almost like a safe haven where we teach them to have a voice, and we teach them of kind of what they can get, and we have helped them have advocacy.
I am really fortunate that I have had the opportunity to see a lot of people come in the door and leave impacted with the work that we do. And that's what's really rewarding about this work, is getting to see that change.
And even though part of our mission is empowerment towards women, that's really empowerment towards all, regardless of race.
Often people say to me, "Oh, I didn't know you did all of that." And I think it's because, we've just been doing it for so long that we maybe don't celebrate the impact that we have every day. Good morning. Welcome to the 101-year celebration of YWCA New Hampshire. I'm Jessica Canton, the CEO, and I have been with the organization for about 5 years. I'm so proud this morning to have all of you join us in this momentous occasion and this huge celebration. Last year, we wanted to celebrate with you, but because of the pandemic and for safe and healthy reasons, we had to reschedule. And this year, we get to come together in this way. I also want to give a huge shout out to our champion sponsors, Pat Finland and Paul LeBlanc and Brady Sullivan Properties. And you'll be listening to a special message from our board chair, Raquel Gowen.
Hello and good morning to all of you. My name's Raquel Gorin, and I am the current board chair for the YWCA New Hampshire. I'm joining you from my kitchen, although I would love to be with you in person. Welcome to our 101st anniversary celebration. Our mission of eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, and freedom is as important today as it was 101 years ago. Through the last century, we have continued our work in creating a community free from violence and oppression. Our work is far from over, but we are proud of the progress that has been made. In 1920, 100 women met to discuss the possibility of opening a YWCA in Manchester, New Hampshire. They were successful in their focus of providing housing, recreation, and education to help women who worked in the factories throughout our city. In the 1960s, the YW began concentrating their efforts on uplifting women to discover their own self-worth and helping them to rise to leadership roles within their communities. In 1977, our first crisis services were established to aid those in abusive situations. Today, we continue their legacy by expanding on those cornerstone programs. Now known as Reach Crisis Services, we provide advocacy and support services to victims of domestic and sexual violence. In addition, our shelter Emily's Place has been a vital part in helping women and children get the support they need. This program continues its work further through a 24/7 crisis counseling line, community education, and community outreach. Community outreach and involvement continues today through volunteer efforts and also through community partnerships. In late 2017, the YWCA New Hampshire partnered with Southern New Hampshire University to launch the Center for New Americans. The program offers a safe place for new Americans of all ages and backgrounds. Youth have the ability to learn and grow through various means, including cultural celebrations and family dinner nights. I know we all miss those. In addition, SNU partners with the YWCA New Hampshire to host The Well, a space for adults to advance their education and careers. Providing a welcoming atmosphere for our new American community has been a bright spot on this organization. The YW's commitment to racial justice has been unwavering throughout its history. We have remained vigilant in our fight for equity. Throughout this past year alone, we have amped up our effort in offering meaningful programming geared towards providing the space to have difficult conversations. In 2020, we held conversations with governor candidates Dan Feltes and Darryl Perry, hosted virtual panels discussing systemic barriers and the future of race equity in New Hampshire, and partnered with SNU and BLM Manchester to host youth listening forums. All were free to the public to attend. Most recently, the YWCA has partnered with the NAACP Education Committee to develop a place for people of color to find the resources they need, as well as becoming participants on Mayor Joyce Craig's Multicultural Advisory Council. We remain vigilant in seeking out those important community partnerships to move this cause forward. Like so many others, the YWCA experienced unique challenges throughout this past year. We are determined, however, to not let that deter us from our important work. I speak for all of our board in saying how appreciative we are of our CEO, Jess Canton, and her incredibly talented team in moving the YWCA New Hampshire forward. They do so with heart and determination every single day. Their passion for this organization is unmatched. The women who established the YWCA New Hampshire 101 years ago would be proud to see their work continued with such care. Lastly, I would truly like to thank our volunteers, sponsors, supporters, and board members. The YWCA could not have come this far without your help. We are humbled to be part of such a remarkable community that continues to believe in our work. Here's to another 101 years. Enjoy the celebration.
My name is Pat Finland.
I'm Paul Blanc.
I've been a member of the board of the YWCA New Hampshire and recently a former chair. And I was attracted to the organization originally because of the importance of the mission, eliminating racism and empowering women. And since I've been involved, I've had the honor to work with Jessica and her team, and they are people who work from their heart on a mission that's very important to them. The organization is thriving under their leadership, providing essential services for the community, and they're working with other community partners as well. Jessica and her team have caused the organization to thrive. It is more successful now than it has been in its 101 years. So congratulations to all of you. Very proud.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, I'm the president of Southern New Hampshire University. And when we had the idea for creating a Center for New Americans that could better support our recent immigrant and refugee populations in Manchester, we reached out to the YWCA because we knew they would be such a good partner in this work. And that belief has been borne out again and again and again. Jessica and her team are just wonderful to work with and for. The center is thriving, and they are helping young people and families assimilate and be part of the Manchester community, a thriving community that's really been built on the backs of immigrant populations and refugees to our country. So we're just very, very proud. Southern New Hampshire University is very proud to be partnering with the YWCA and to count Jessica and her staff as colleagues and friends. So happy birthday to the YWCA. We
Happy
support
birthday.
Your organization. Pat and I write a check every year, sometimes more than one, because it matters. It matters a lot. And there are few organizations that are so much in the trenches doing this work every day, changing lives, might even case saving lives in many instances. And there's nothing better than that. Well done.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
This morning, we'll spend some time together looking back on our history and looking forward at the future. I do appreciate all of you that have joined us this morning. I know, like some of you, you're probably jealous, you're home probably in your pajamas or your comfortable clothes. I actually had to unveil a dress this morning for the first time in 12 months. So that was an interesting situation. But one of the things that I always loved when I came to the YW was getting out into the community and hearing the stories and the experiences that people had inside the walls of this building where we're broadcasting from this morning. And so we would like to share a slideshow with you that makes those stories come alive. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it the way we did. I love those pictures. And you can imagine with 101 years of collection of pictures and archives, we had quite a time going through all of them. And we're proud to actually be featured at the Millyard Museum this past fall with an exhibit marking our 100-year celebration. I want to share some really important history with you. In 1920, a group of about 100 women in our city came together and were really interested in what would it take to open a YWCA. And by that September of that same year, they were able to gather 1,200 founding members of our organization. This was huge for that time. And we were just, thinking ahead even then, like what could be the next strategy? What could be the next step? And some years later, they built this building, opened it, and it is the same building that it is today. The other fun fact that I always love is that Crisis Center was actually, as Raquel mentioned earlier in her remarks, we were one of the first crisis centers in the state, opening in 1977. Also happened to be the birthday of yours truly. So what else happened in 1920 that allowed this kind of groundwork for a YWCA to come to Manchester? From a national perspective, women got the right to vote through the 19th Amendment. ACLU was established. Football became a professional sport, although I still don't understand it. Just ask my sons. And the average work week was 55 hours a week. So I want to ask you a piece of trivia. Let's get a little interactive this morning, and we'll come back at our next segment with the answer. So in 2012, how did New Hampshire make history? And now let's watch a video on historical perspective. And in our community really had a vested interest in providing pathways for the young women working in the mills for ways to educate themselves, leadership programs, right? And so the YW at that point had opened in New York City and in surrounding states around New Hampshire. And they were like, let's bring a YW to New Hampshire. And so it took them, a few decades to stand up this building at 72 Concord Street. And I think for us, probably the most notable milestone was the erection of this building in the community, because it took the women in our community decades to build it. When we opened in 1920, our founder, Annette Perkins, was actually put a time capsule in the cornerstone of the building. We were coming into a community that had deep roots as a mill city. Folks would come, especially women, and the pathway was, not necessarily to be able to further the education, but to work in the mills and start a family. And so we were like, no, we want to come on the scene and provide, a space for women to really diversify and figure out what their interests are. And when we first opened, we were really all about providing those education programs, but also providing single room occupancy. So we had single rooms on our top 2 floors that women could rent. And we had a restaurant and a library, and it really was like a self-sustaining community. Through the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, as the social justice and social fronts were changing in our country, in the 70s, we were one of the first crisis centers in New Hampshire. And so we were providing support to survivors of domestic violence in a time when that was a family issue. It wasn't something that a community really addressed. You think about the fact that for 100 years, despite economic downturns, despite financial distress, despite the climate, we persevered, right? We continued to stay open. Our doors continued to remain open for what we were originally founded for, which was to empower women and eliminate racism. I just love history. And so for those of you that participated in the trivia question, I hope you came up with a response. New Hampshire elected an all-female delegation. And we were so excited about it at the time, we made a t-shirt that said New Hampshire, where women run. So you heard me talking a little bit about historical perspective, but I want you to now hear from a woman who's become a friend of mine and a dear colleague and a fellow Rotarian, Claire Monnier, who will talk about her experiences being at the YWCA when she was younger and pursuing a higher education.
I grew up in Bedford, which was a farming community. My mom and dad were farmers. My parents were both immigrants. My dad from Italy, my mother from Poland, a refugee in World War II. We were the working class. We were the lower classes. I was 16 years old and I was working after school at MKM Knitting. And a young woman in accounts payable started talking to me and she said, Clara, we ought to go to college. And I said, what a great idea. We both like school. And so she says, well, college girls play tennis. And she says, that means we have to learn to play tennis. So she found tennis was being taught here at the YW. Well, back in 1957, most young women in high school with me did not have a vision of going to college. Manchester was a blue-collar town, and girls primarily quit high school at 16 and went to work in the mills. The mills paid $1 an hour, which was very good money. And the YW had a different vision. And for the YW, its mission at that point in time was to bring working class young women into the middle class, to help them with their aspirations in life. The key to that mission was education. And I think even today, that is part of the mission of the YW, to bring and raise education, or to raise the awareness that young women can achieve more. And I think they've done a very good job of meeting their mission and being a part of the community while doing it.
Thank you, Clara, for sharing your story with us. It is one of countless stories that I've heard over the years, but it always is my favorite. Every time she says that college girls play tennis, a smile comes to my face. And so I hope you're beginning to see how important her story is to us and how it has really allowed to lay the foundation for our work in the community. And I want you to understand where we're at today. And then we'll be sharing some opportunities for how we're hoping to grow and learn in the near future. So take a look at the YW today.
So YWCA, over the course of our 101 years, have offered a wide variety of programs. Something I really like about YWs is that they really morph to fit the needs of the community, and the programs reflect the needs of the people in their community.
So our two largest programs, one is the Reach Crisis Services. We're a member program of the New Hampshire Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence. So in that program, we provide 24/7 crisis services to survivors and their families in the greater Manchester area. We're one of 13 member programs across the state.
In Reach Crisis, we work with survivors who are experiencing trauma.
It's response to crisis, it's advocacy, it's accompaniment, it's safe housing, it's safe shelter.
Our goal is that when folks walk in our door, they walk out with slightly more information or slightly more skills or tools in their back pocket than when they walked in.
And then the other large program we have is with Southern New Hampshire University and the Center for New Americans.
In the Center for New Americans, those programs are open to everyone. It's intended to pave a pathway to higher education, but primarily focused on serving new Americans, meaning refugees and immigrants in our community.
We have a very vibrant youth program, the Amigo Youth Program, and we do some adult education in the way of English for New Americans and HiSET.
I'm able to help people with barriers faced, like language services, getting translations.
There really are smaller programs that we're operating.
We have a 21-day challenge, which is focused on eliminating racism.
Our programs through the Well, which offer like enrichment wellness classes for primarily designed for women, or offering our gym space to community groups like Special Olympics.
We have the Empower Her run. We're always doing lots of things in the community to get the whole community involved.
And that video is just the tip of the iceberg. I am pleased this morning that we are joined by video from some members of our delegation. We are joined by Senator Maggie Hassan, Representative Chris Pappas, Representative Annie Custer, and one of our more esteemed partners, Lynn Schlett of the New Hampshire Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence. But first, before we get into those videos, I would like to introduce Elizabeth Bergeron, our Director of Finance and Operations, who will be reading a letter from one of my personal favorites, Senator Jeanne Shaheen.
Dear friends, thank you for the invitation to join you all at the 101st anniversary of YWCA New Hampshire. I am honored to have the opportunity to congratulate you on more than a century of invaluable work. From providing crisis services to empowering women to fighting for racial justice, your efforts have consistently challenged the status quo and brought us closer to a world free from obstacles to equal treatment and opportunity. The services and resources that YWCA New Hampshire has provided to Granite Staters has undoubtedly advanced the organization's mission of promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all, especially in these trying times that have further exposed many societal injustices and inequities. Your services have been a lifeline for so many individuals and families. Our strides in the march towards full equality is a product of the YWCA New Hampshire's advocacy for women and work to eliminate racism. These efforts have built on the vision of the group's founders to address and remedy many of our society's shortcomings. The sense of compassion and selflessness shared by those gathered here today has enabled these positive changes, and we are all so grateful for your work. I would like to thank you all once again for all of your efforts, which have positively impacted the lives of countless individuals. I look forward to hearing of your future successes and wish you all the best in the year ahead. Sincerely, Jeanne Shaheen.
Everybody, I'm Senator Maggie Hassan. I am really sorry that we couldn't gather together in person, but I really want to congratulate YWCA New Hampshire on your 101st anniversary and all the celebration around it. As New Hampshire's oldest women's organization, the YWCA has provided vital services for women, children, and families throughout your 101 years of operation. You've empowered people all throughout our state, and you're a safe and welcoming space for survivors of domestic and sexual violence. Your efforts improve and save lives. You raise awareness about the challenges that women face, and you help eliminate the stigma that prevents far too many people from asking for help. I'm grateful for all of your hard work and for your commitment to equality, justice, and freedom for everybody. Congratulations again on 101 years. Stay safe and keep up the great work.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Congressman Chris Pappas, and I'm honored to join you to celebrate the 101st anniversary of the YWCA in New Hampshire. Since the founding in 1920, the work you all have done at the YWCA to support women, children, and families has been so crucial for our communities. Whether providing 24/7 service to women and children in crisis, operating an emergency shelter, or fostering a more inclusive community, your work is invaluable to people across our state. And your longevity, a century, is truly a testament to that incredible work. When I look at your mission, eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all, I'm struck by how appropriate it is for this moment in our history. This pandemic has placed a strain on so many in our community, especially women and families. As many in our community know who have struggled over the last year because of COVID-19, the YWCA remained a source of strength for so many by offering a helping hand and a safe, accessible space for those in need. It's this type of work which has distinguished your work over the last 101 years and has allowed you to expand your reach. The YWCA and its staff, volunteers, and supporters have diligently worked to create a home for women and enrich our community by including women, girls, and families of all backgrounds over the last century. And our state is the beneficiary of your sustained good work. I'm really proud to be with you today to commemorate this important anniversary, and I look forward to continuing to see your positive impact on our community for so many years to come. Thank you and stay safe.
Good morning, everyone. I am thrilled to have the chance to address you all as we celebrate the 101st anniversary of the YWCA of New Hampshire. Although I know we would all prefer to be together in person, it's so important to take the time to reflect on our milestones and accomplishments, and I'm glad to be with you today to thank you for all of your hard work. For over a century, YWCA NH has been a pillar of the community, helping to lift up women, girls, and families throughout the state. I'm deeply grateful for YWCA New Hampshire's work to help women in crisis provide critical services for survivors of domestic and sexual violence and dismantle systemic racism and so much more. The past year has been challenging for everyone, but women especially have been left bearing the brunt of it. We know that instances of sexual violence spiked during the stay-at-home orders, and unfortunately, many individuals were not safer at home. We also know that women have been disproportionately impacted by the economic effects of this terrible virus, with many forced to leave the workforce to care for children while schools shifted to remote learning. When women have the tools and support to succeed and live up to their potential, everyone benefits as a result. Given the additional challenges of the last year, we must do more to dismantle barriers to women's equality and empowerment. As the U.S. representative for New Hampshire's 2nd Congressional District, I've been proud to advocate for policies that empower women and girls. From launching the bipartisan Congressional Task Force to end sexual violence, to supporting paid family leave and fighting to protect a woman's right to make her own personal healthcare decisions, I am committed to moving the needle on gender equality. So on behalf of my constituents, I thank the YWCA for its dedication to improving the status of women and girls across the Granite State. Congratulations again on an extraordinary 101 years of service to the community. I look forward to continuing our shared work to make New Hampshire a more just and equal place.
Hello, and congratulations to the YWCA of New Hampshire on your 101st anniversary. This is Lynn Chalette with the New Hampshire Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence. The Y has long been an integral part of the statewide network of 13 community-based crisis centers in New Hampshire, providing 24-hour services to victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, stalking, and human trafficking. In fact, the Y was one of the first organizations in New Hampshire to recognize how important it was for victims to have a safe, confidential, non-judgmental place to tell their story and to heal. Today, your services have expanded to include hospital accompaniment, court advocacy, support groups, emergency shelter, and so importantly, primary prevention. One of the unique strengths that the Y brings to the table is your dedicated commitment to ending racism and to explicitly addressing the intersection of oppressions that result in a society where sexual assault and domestic violence happen. Here at the Coalition, we are excited to continue working with you to help create a safer state in New Hampshire. Congratulations again on your anniversary.
It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. You're just as likely to become a victim of domestic violence. And even though it's the YWCA, they will help all victims of domestic violence.
My daughter actually came here and the advocates were helping her out. Unfortunately, her situation was so far advanced and things went south really fast. And before you know it, she was murdered by her husband. And I was also shot at the same time. And so at that point, that was where I started learning about this place because the people here even reached out to me.
The Y is an amazing partner. I'm a law enforcement officer. I want to investigate crimes. I am not wired to deal with emotions the same way that those advocates are. So it's better that when we work as a team, they get the emotional support they need while I'm driving forward my investigation.
One of the most important things for a victim is just to feel safe and be out of harm's way. And the YWCA, along with the advocates, help them get there.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have enjoyed hearing the messages this morning and that it's given you a sense of pride if you're already supporting us. And if you didn't really know much about us, it's given you more insight into the work that we have in our community. One of the things that John and Heidi Canton were not able to share in their video segment is that they are also the proud owners of Missy's Closet. Missy's Closet is very much a community-based effort. John and Heidi lead it with their amazing volunteers, and they're so supportive of not only the work that we do in Reach Crisis Services, but also the work that we do in the SNHU Center for New Americans. Missy's Closet is currently located in the lower level of the YWCA. And if you want a volunteer gig, I know that Heidi is always looking for that. So thank you, John and Heidi, for your unwavering support and your sponsorship, because they were also sponsors of our video, of our celebration this year. You know, like you saw in our look back video, you know, we had the pool. That's probably what we're most infamously known for. And, you know, we may no longer help the pool, but as you can see, we do help people when they're drowning. And you're probably wondering, like, how can I help, right? Well, I have a coffee mug. You're like, why does she have a coffee mug? Well, this year we launched a really exciting initiative called Champion Circle. Champion Circle allows you to become a supporter of our mission work. For $30, you get this free coffee mug. We're running this promotion, but there'll be a new promotion every year for our champions. And you can set up it as one-time donation of $30, or you can set it up as a reoccurring donation for $30 a month. I personally set it up as a reoccurring donation for $30 a month, but you know, hey, I am kind of invested. The other thing that I think there's an opportunity to do this morning is to truly celebrate our 101 years. You know, make a $101 donation to the organization. We can really do so much impact with those funds. Almost all of our programs and services are provided for free. There's no charge. I'm here to tell you that this is our work. This is the work that we need to do and to begin. And we will be pivoting more in the years to come, as Raquel discussed, in our racial justice work. This is work that has been led for years in our community by grassroots organizations like the New Hampshire Black Women's Health Project, like membership-based organizations in AACP, like the Jimmy Collective. These are groups of people that have been dedicated to this work, but has been severely underfunded and under-resourced. And we want to be able to leverage our support and our partnerships to bring this work into the future of where it needs to be and begin to dismantle these systems that really provide opportunities for racial inequities to continue to live and breathe and be very well in New Hampshire. One of the ways that we've done this is through our work with the SNHU Center for New Americans. This is such a proud partnership that started in 2017 and is just continuing to expand and grow. Hopefully soon you'll all be able to join us back at 72 Concord Street. And I would invite you to come and see the ways in which we're expanding and growing as an organization. But the SNHU Center is particularly near and dear to my heart. One, because it brought children back into the building. And two, because it really exemplifies what community partners can do when they come together to address the needs of their community. So to learn a little bit more about what the SNHU Center for New Americans is up to, I do want to show you a quick video of Courtney Prawn, who's the director of the Center for New Americans, and Yawa Asante, who is the youth program educator for the Center for New Americans.
Through the Center for New Americans, we offer the Amico Youth Program. Amico started in mid-spring 2018, and we started in partnership with Inti Youth Academy to offer soccer and educational programming after school and during vacation for the local New American children, just in our nearby neighborhoods, and then also over on the west side.
We offer multiple programmings from African dance all the way up to soccer programs where kids get to play on teams that we help sponsor.
In spring of 2020, when COVID hit, we completely changed our model of delivery. And so what was a really lively and thriving in-person program here after school that served about over 120 kids weekly turned into us taking all of our services, our educational materials, all of our activities, virtual and mobile. And so through that first summer, we offered free lunches that kids could walk down and come pick up just outside of the building. We delivered weekly meal bags for the kids to have over the weekends. We also delivered activity kits and a number of snacks and supplies to keep them busy and engaged at home, as well as created all new virtual programming so that they could stay connected to us and still have that safe sense of belonging and community that we've created in this building.
This is one of the best programs, personally, I think, because we don't just focus on the aspect of teaching the kids how to do A, B, and C, but we also go a step further to meet the parents and make sure they have everything that they need to succeed.
They are incredibly energetic, incredibly kind, incredible kids who just need a space to be able to call their own and to understand the new world that's around them. And we really feel like we've built that with the Center for New Americans.
The Center for New Americans is a place where all students from all different parts of the country and all different cultures can join in one place to receive academic support, love and care, and really feel that they're appreciated.
The big thing about Dianabari is that he's a good influence on these kids. These kids see themselves in him. He came here from another country. He's grown up in America being a refugee and an immigrant. And now these kids, they see that they can succeed because he has.
Yes, as an immigrant, the YWCA and obviously the Center for New Americans have both given me an outlet where I can share my experiences, and it just gives me a safe place to be myself and also encourage the students to be themselves as well.
For these kids in Manchester, it can be tough for them. Their neighborhoods, their streets, where they live, it can be difficult for them. And when they walk through the doors at the YWCA, it allows them to have a safe place to be, have fun, make friends, and find success in life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. You'll see that I'm joined here by Keeley, and I'll get to her in a moment, but she, to many of you, she may be very recognizable, doing a lot of work in the community that is exciting. I want to share some really wonderful news with you that you might not have heard, or maybe you did, but have been curious about how we're going to carry out this wonderful gift. In December 2020, we were notified that Mackenzie Scott, who is a well-known philanthropist in our country, chose us as one of her 384 ways to give back. We were so honored after kind of the shock wore off. And, you know, when I was reading her reasons why she chose organizations, I was both humbled and honored that we were one of 2 organizations in New Hampshire to get selected, but that also it really ignited this fire in me that we could do similar things to what she was hoping to do with reinvestment of dollars into our community. You might have heard me discussing the grassroots organizations in our community that have been working on racial justice for many years, and the limitations of revenue and grant dollars to sustain those organizations and to allow them to move their work forward in a meaningful way. Like Scott, we are committed to reinvesting this money in our community through providing those pathways to not only help, but that we're making investments which will significantly impact how racial justice is addressed and dismantled in our community. How we engage in diversity, equity, and inclusion work through co-sponsoring training series led by BIPOC individuals, where we can truly have a representative and authentic voice. We will support grassroots organizations through investment and leveraging of our partnerships, our community members. And we will continue to support BIPOC-owned businesses, both small and big, to make that difference and make that impact. And those are some of the small but significant things that all of you can do. And one of the other things we're looking to do is address with these funds, the inequities around housing. As many of you know, housing inventory in our city is incredibly low. And this is creating a challenge for those that need to be securing permanent housing. And then also providing those pathways to education, whether it be higher education or technical education, by partnering with My Turn and Southern New Hampshire University to bring HiSET back to the YW. In early 2021, we learned of a really awesome effort led by Keeley and a group of BIPOC community leaders called the Manchester Community Action Coalition. And we were just really inspired because this work is a clear illustration of what Scott talked about in her blog when she spoke about why she invested into these organizations. These are folks that are doing the work in their community, but really don't have the means to be able to figure out how can we continue to drive this work forward. Oftentimes organizations are spent chasing funding that isn't sustainable and doesn't bring them into the future. And so we are pleased and proud today to be able to offer you an initial investment of $20,000 to the Manchester Community Action Coalition so that you can all begin to do this work in our community and think about and get that breath of fresh air the way that we did when we got the Scott gift. So thank you, Keeley. Would you like to share a little bit about the Manchester Community Action Coalition and what you all are up to?
Sure. Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you to the YW. Wow, 101 years ago, a group of women came together to fight racism, to ensure that everyone is welcome and everyone have an opportunity to participate, to co-create the solutions that they want for their life and for the future of the kid. It's been 101 years ago. Oh my goodness. And we're still doing that work. it's like we're just starting doing more of the work that is needed. So we're so grateful at the Manchester Community Action Coalition that the Y continue on its mission to support initiatives like this that allows community members, especially in the marginalized groups, to come together and share their stories and use their voices to actually create solutions. Because what had been going on was these individuals have never been empowered to feel like they can be part of a solution. You know, it has been like, okay, let me know what you want and I'll give it to you. That is not empowerment. So Manchester Community Action Coalition is here to ensure that, you know, racial justice, meaning empowering community members to actually have a space to come together, be supported financially, you know, take initiative and take action and create solution, take action to ensure that that solution is is kind of provide what they need to survive. We know that, you know, nothing, you know, this New Hampshire, Manchester in the whole is very diverse. And we need everyone, every resident to really be part of our civic engagement and things of the city. So everyone to feel welcome and belonging in this city. Together, we can do great things. And we want everyone to feel like they have an opportunity to feel belonged and be involved to co-create solutions that will allow every resident to succeed in the city. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you for doing this great work. I look forward to our continued partnership. And also Keeley is a former board member of the YWCA, so she's deeply committed to this work. I also want to mention that we do have several on-site partners that make this work possible. Southern New Hampshire University is a proud sponsor and supporter and partner and collaborator of this work. In fact, the Center for New Americans might not exist had it not been for their investment in us. Duet is also on site, and Duet is a competency-based college degree program providing pathways for individuals to be able to pursue higher education in a way that is supportive and accessible. And so I want to give you the opportunity to hear directly from these partners. We'll hear from Khalil Street from Duet, and we also will hear from James McKim from NAACP. We have so much work to do. We have so many promises to live out, and we're just beginning to get started.
Post-secondary education has long been a primary driver for economic and individual growth. Yet an alarming high percentage of today's college populations are faced with access and success barriers, which definitely need to change. My name is Khalil, a senior coach and director of the New Hampshire program at Duet, which is a Boston-based nonprofit closely working with Southern New Hampshire University on making sure that we remove all of those barriers by making college available to more people than ever before. The people we cover and serve include busy working adults, single moms, parents, people of color, and other historically underserved populations. And through Duet, now anyone is able to earn an accredited SNHU AA and BA degree at the most affordable cost with unmatched flexibility, as well as personalized enrollment, academic, and career support from start to finish. We honestly did not anticipate finding a new home for our operations in New Hampshire when we started back in 2018 to be an easy task. But the YWCA's mission and work strongly aligned with ours, and I'm very grateful to Jessica and everyone on her amazing team for being with us every step of the way. They opened so many doors for us and dedicated a safe and welcoming space for our students and supported their success in many ways. They also continue to work with us until now on growing and establishing more meaningful integrations of our programs through the Y's powerful services. And this is there to make sure that we reach and serve the deep network that they work with, and to make sure that our students are able to utilize what the Y has to offer to achieve improved growth and outcomes. So I strongly believe that our partnership is an example of the YWCA's active effort, which is there to create a thriving community and provide the tools that many will need to enable their individualized path of transformation. Congratulations on your 101 anniversary. The very best is yet to come, but I'm very proud of your community contributions during this year. It's been tough, but I've been very privileged to work with such fantastic and dedicated people like you. And I continue to be inspired by what you do every single day. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is James McKim. I am president of the Manchester branch of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, commonly known as the NAACP. Our mission is to secure the political, educational, social, and economic equality of rights in order to eliminate race-based discrimination and ensure the health and well-being of all persons. We do this work toward our vision of a society in which all individuals have equal rights without discrimination based on race. Our national organization was founded in 1909. The Manchester branch was founded in 1964. We have a proud heritage of partnering with organizations to achieve our mission and vision. This includes partnering with the YWCA of New Hampshire. The mission of the YWCA of New Hampshire is focused on eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all toward their vision of a thriving community free from violence and depression, an individualized experience for victims on their paths of transformation. We have similar missions in this mostly white state of New Hampshire that we call home. We are proud to work together on efforts to improve educational opportunities for underserved, underrepresented students and the families who support them through programs such as REACH. We are proud to work together on efforts to bring the hope of a bright economic future to those same families through programs such as the Race and Equity Economic Development Series. And we are proud to work together to focus resources, financial and human, to show the world that we are stronger together than we are apart through events such as the annual MLK Day celebration. On behalf of the NAACP, I want to thank Jessica Canton and all the staff for the work we have done and will continue to do together. I offer our congratulations on 101 years of impactful service and look forward to many more years of eliminating racism together.
Hello, friends. Welcome back. I hope that you are enjoying the show just as much as I am. And I want to start us off with a trivia question. And this is just to check and see if you've been paying attention or multitasking. What program did we open in 2017 to provide a youth program in adult education in partnership with Southern New Hampshire University? I wonder. You should put your answers in the chat box. You know, I cannot say enough that, you know, we have so much work ahead of us, but we're also doing innovative work every day. And as a social justice organization, we're working with some of the most vulnerable and at-risk individuals in our community, but also some of the strongest. And in order to continue this mission, we do need your support. So whether it be the Champion Circle, remember, you get a free coffee mug now if you sign up, $30 one-time gift or ongoing, or today with a one-time gift of $101. Honestly, anything that you could give us is helpful. And if you can't donate financially, there's so many other ways you can support us. Following us on social media, liking our social media posts, volunteering your time. We rely very heavily on our volunteers to get this work done. In fact, our crisis line for REACH Crisis Services would not exist if it not be for our volunteers and our great staff. So, you know, your $101 might go to work for you in many different ways. You might be supporting any of the children attending our Amico Youth Program to be able to get transportation to this, resources, education, service, or you might be helping out one of the 3,700 folks we help out per year. All of our services, as I mentioned, are free, And if you need reasons, I hope that you've seen them today. I hope that you're getting excited. And I hope that you will begin to understand the future that we have laid out. But in case we haven't shared it enough, we're gonna show you our future vision plans. I think what is next for the YWCA is that we will continue to become the vibrant community hub that we started out as in the early 1930s, late 1920s, that we will have truly pivoted towards our mission statement around eliminating racism, that we will be a thought leader in the space of addressing systemic racism in our community, that we will be further down the road with innovation in minimizing domestic violence and childhood trauma in our community.
The community has changed. It's become a high-tech community. It's become a college community. It is no longer a blue-collar mill town. And if you look at the population, it has also changed.
The eliminating racism component of our mission has often been overlooked due to the demographics of New Hampshire, but that's no longer an excuse. This is something that we need to take action on and move forward with as much as we can. We are hoping to build out that program to be more robust and responsive to the needs of the community, and expanding our services onto our lower level where a lot of our fitness area used to be. So building out classrooms so we can bring in more community collaborators and serve our community in a more comprehensive way.
One place that we're really taking a stand is helping those BIPOC community and getting them the advocacy that they need. And also we're taking a stand on helping those that are part of the LGBTQ community, which are often neglected populations and marginalized populations.
We are always coming up with new ideas. That's one of the things I really love about working here, is just so innovative. And we're always looking for ways that we can have a greater impact and always looking for new ways to expand on our work.
The sky's the limit for who the YWCA can help, because we are constantly working towards helping the community as a whole.
That mission of helping young women advance, I think, is vital to the future. We do have the potential. They're here, and they need the same kind of support and incentive to achieve their aspirations that I had back in the 1950s.
So I hope with that vision that you're as excited as I am. And, we do have the work ahead of us, but we also need to not go at this alone. You go further together. Our next partner is probably one that is very near and dear to my heart. As a survivor myself of childhood trauma, and it's a project I'm most, in my 23-year career, probably the most proud of. And that is the Adverse Childhood Experiences Response Team. It's one of the co-developers of that project, which is led by Amoskeag Health. I'm pleased to share with you an update on what's going on with ACERT from Lara Quiroga.
Hi, Lara Quiroga, Director of Strategic Initiatives for Children at Amoskeag Health here. On behalf of Launch Manchester, the Adverse Childhood Experiences Response Team, and Amoskeag Health, I want to congratulate YWCA New Hampshire on 101 years. We really appreciate the increased partnership with you over the years, especially since the Manchester Police Department brought us together in a new way in 2015. I know our partnership around ACERT and the network of community providers we've engaged have helped children and families get connected to the help they need when and where they need it. Since 2016, we've referred more than 1,200 children who were exposed to something traumatic to services that will help them heal and become resilient. And not only are Manchester residents benefiting from the Adverse Childhood Experiences Response Team, or ACERT, but 4 communities across New Hampshire are actively implementing ACERT, and there's a dozen more in the works. Both Senator Shaheen and Congressman Pappas have proposed legislation to nationalize ACERT, and it's so hard to believe sometimes that this idea to help the 400 or so children in Manchester exposed to domestic violence every year has turned into an innovation that has garnered attention not only locally and throughout our state, but even internationally as a meaningful approach to addressing childhood trauma. So again, thank you so much for your partnership. We look forward to future collaborations. Congratulations on 101 years of providing such important services in our community.
Well, folks, our time has come to an end this morning. I hope you stay with us for just a few seconds longer. And I want to thank you so much for participating in our celebration today. I do wish that I was able to be on camera with all of you and sharing in the chat box that I see that keeps popping up. I hope you all have had a nice time reconnecting with one another and connecting with us. I want to thank you for your belief in us and your unwavering support. This is really, truly the lifeblood of this organization and what is going to continue to drive it into the future long after I'm not here anymore, long after the community continues to grow and evolve. I also want to send a personal thank you to our past board chair, Mary Lou Beaver, who all those years ago saved me by asking one simple question. Do you know anybody who would want to be the interim executive director for the YWCA? And I said, well, I'd be interested. And here we are 5 years later. I also want to thank our board members and our volunteers and the numerous supporters that you've seen, but also I want to thank our amazing team. Our team is probably the most brilliant team on the planet. I might be a little bit biased, but they are truly the folks that get the work done every day. And lastly, surely but not least, we could not do a lot of the work that we do in the building for the Center for New Americans without Courtney Perron and her amazing team and just their unwavering love of the community and wanting to see the best happen for those communities that we're supporting through that work. So I hope you all had a great time. I hope you all continue to support us. I look to a time when we can all gather together in the future. And I wish you a wonderful day. And please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You believed in me, and for that, I thank you.
You gave me a place to heal.
I was able to take my life back.
My house is home again for me and my
I
kids.
can finally go outside without looking over my
You
shoulder.
showed me that my life was worth living. I found a place where I can be myself.
The YWCA gave me hope. I no longer feel invisible.
There is help for people who need healing.